What a day! Prince and Princess of Wales share slick behind-the-scenes clip from King's coronation as they thank everyone who made it happen. The Prince and Princess of Wales have shared amazing behind-the-scenes footage of their time at the King's coronation yesterday. Prince William, 40, and Kate Middleton, 41, posted an intimate clip online showing their side of yesterday's momentous occasion as King Charles and Queen Camilla were crowned at Westminster Abbey in London. Sweet footage shared on the couple's social media accounts showed father of three William leading his daughter Princess Charlotte, 8, and her brother Prince Louis, 5, as they entered into the vehicles that took them to the service. A well-dressed Charlotte, sporting an Alexander McQueen dress and cape, can be seen gasping with joy before she and her family hop into the cars. The rest of the clip shows highlights of the family throughout the day, from the procession to the Abbey to the flypast on the balcony of Buckingham Palace. The clip shows how the family set off for the event, with the royal children excitedly getting into the vehicle and waving at well-wishers. It also shows the three siblings riding the carriage back to Buckingham Palace following the ceremony, before they appear on the palace's balcony for a flypast. In a tweet, the couple wrote, "What a day! Thank you to everyone who made it happen." In another post, the Prince and Princess of Wales also retweeted a message from the Royal Air Force which shared beautiful pictures of key moments from this afternoon. Noted the rotary crews did the heavy lifting. Perfect flying conditions if you ask me. A big thank you to everyone for making today happen, the message, which was signed W for William, read. The message poked fun at the rainy afternoon which saw the RAF Air Chief Marshal Sir Michael Wigston sighing it was 50-50 as to whether the flypast would take place, warning low cloud and rain would make it impossible for pilots to navigate. The Royal Air Force was incredibly proud to participate in His Majesty the King's coronation procession alongside the Royal Navy, the British Army, and Commonwealth forces, the tweet from the RAF read. During the royal family's balcony appearance, the mall was a sea of people, many of whom sprinted to get close to the palace and catch a glimpse of the King and Queen following their historic coronation watched by 100 million people on TV worldwide. Charles and Camilla were joined by the Prince and Princess of Wales, their children, the Duke and Duchess of Edinburgh and Princess Anne. Once again Prince Louis and Princess Charlotte stole the show with some enthusiastic waving and pointing as the jets flew over the palace towers. At one point little Louis was open-mouthed and yelled in shock as the planes rushed over their heads. But their uncle Prince Harry decided against going back to Buckingham Palace and appears to have been driven straight to Heathrow Airport to jet home after a 24-hour stay in the UK. He is said to be determined to get back to California to see his son Archie's 4th birthday yesterday. As the aircraft approached, the Princess of Wales was seen speaking to Prince Louis and encouraging him to look up from the Buckingham Palace balcony. The Prince of Wales made a remark as he leaned closer to his wife, prompting her to turn and smile. Crowds took pictures, screamed and laughed as they watched the red arrows pass over Buckingham Palace. Royal fans moved onto the mall to take selfies and film the helicopters and planes as they passed over. Others popped champagne corks and shouted "God Save the King." Meanwhile, Princess Charlotte appeared to take on a protective and reassuring role for her younger brother Prince Louis during yesterday's coronation celebrations, but couldn't help but share a giggle with the 5-year-old at the palace balcony appearance. The 80-year-old daughter of the Prince and Princess of Wales was seen sitting alongside her little brother Prince Louis, in a royal car with their parents after leaving the palace, and in the front row of the Abbey a short time later. The siblings held hands during the opening moments of the historic service. Charlotte and Louis arrived without their older brother Prince George, 9, who was a page of honor for his grandfather. They were immaculately behaved during the service, with Charlotte proving a reassuring presence to her younger brother, who couldn't help stifle a few yawns during the sacred service. George, Charlotte and Louis were reunited after the service when they rode away from Westminster Abbey to Buckingham Palace in a carriage with their parents. The trio later appeared on the balcony of Buckingham Palace with their parents, their newly crowned grandparents the King and Queen and the other working royals. During this appearance, Charlotte could be seen sharing a giggle with her youngest brother. The young royals stood at the right of the monarchs on the balcony, as they watched a special flight past go over the royal residence. Prince Louis, 5, put on an animated display, while Charlotte and Georgia also watched the moment happen with glee. George, 9, was seen joking around with the other page boys who assisted with the king's cape during the ceremony. Princess Charlotte looked resplendent in the white dress and headpiece that were picked for the momentous day. The young princess wore an Alexander McQueen dress and cape in ivory silk crepe with ivory stitch embroidery featuring rose, thistle, daffodil and shamrock motifs, to signify the four nations. She also wore a Jescolatex Alexander McQueen headpiece, silver bullion, crystal and silver thread work, similar to the headpiece the Princess of Wales is wearing for the occasion. Meanwhile, her younger brother Louis, who turned 5 on St. George's Day on April 23, looked regal in a bespoke outfit. For the historic occasion, the young prince was wearing an outfit made by Savile Row tailors Dejan Skinner, which consists of a Hainsworth garter blue doeskin tunic with specially designed lacework embellishment to the collar, cuffs and fronts. The leg garment was black complete with garter blue stripe. Last year Louis was the standout star of his great-grandmother's Platinum Jubilee celebrations, entertaining the crowds with his antics on the Buckingham Palace balcony and in the audience at the Jubilee pageant. His parents, aware of the responsibility on his young shoulders, Prince Louis won't attend tomorrow's concert in Windsor. The youngsters reunited for the grand carriage procession back to Buckingham Palace after witnessing King Charles being crowned at the Abbey. The King and Queen traveled in the 261-year-old gold state coach, followed by 3 carriages carrying working members of the royal family. In the first carriage behind them was the Prince and Princess of Wales, along with George, Charlotte, and Louis. It was the biggest public test for the 3 siblings, who are becoming increasingly confident under the eyes of the watching world. Thousands gathered on the Mall this morning, as Charles III's Day of Destiny got underway. The historic first coronation of a British monarch in 70 years at Westminster Abbey saw just over 2,000 people arriving into Westminster Abbey. Charles was crowned in a Christian ceremony that dates back for 1,000 years on a day dripping with glorious displays of pageantry. The momentous event shone a spotlight on Britain's place on the world stage. His family, including Prince Andrew and Princess Anne, enjoyed a dinner at Mayfair Club Oswald's last night. Mike and Zaratinda were out until 2 a.m. Prince Harry flew in from Los Angeles yesterday for his 24-hour trip. It emerged last night he has been relegated to the 3rd row in the Abbey with other non-working royals. Around 100 million watched on TV around the globe, with around 2 million people, from all corners of the UK, Commonwealth and the world, in London for the historic event. Guests of the King started arriving at the Abbey from 7 a.m., 4 hours before the ceremony. Some 100 heads of state are in London, with representatives from 203 countries are
lightning strikes through me.